And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, on Entomb Valley, and in the lower right-hand corner, we have our red Protoss player from FXO, still wearing the tag of Choya, but it's not. It is FXO.Tear. His opponent here in the upper right-hand corner is our blue Zerg player from Acer, winning the last game, trying to tie things up. It's Nerchio.
And now we have Tear picking, as we mentioned before, the other very good Protoss vs. Zerg map in Entomb Valley, which is basically instant third base for Protoss. It's very hard to break that, and that's what Protoss wants against Zerg every single time. We'll see what Acer decides to do, what Nerchio decides to do to try to disrupt the rhythm. He did a very good job of disrupting Choya's build last game, starting with those immediate sixlings, queen, and then did a lot of damage to stall, killing off the pylons with those 5 gateways, killing off the forge to delay +2, really disrupting the rhythm of Choya, even though the damage wasn't that substantial, and even at the beginning, getting those lings into his base.
That's what I kind of noticed as well. You brought up the set of Hyun versus Tear. Tear was doing a really good job for a while of being able to hit Hyun at a moment before those big mid-game pushes that Hyun is so known for came out, and eventually Hyun was able to adapt to it, start playing longer macro games, or getting it with a little bit quicker aggression with some roach rushes and stuff like that, and that's how he was able to win. But it's certainly something that Nerchio is going to have to be on the lookout for, are those strong mid-game Protoss pushes that are pretty effective at the moment.
Yeah, Tear has a habit of striking right before Zergs actually manage to get right into the rhythm of their push. You know, right before they would gear up their upgrades finish. It's about 30 seconds before that Tear usually tries to make sure that his pushes are coming. He has a very, very good knack for that. It's almost like a sixth sense where he just knows, all right, Zerg is about to hit me in about a minute. I'm going right now, and doing all the damage he can then.
Well, we'll see what he opens up with here. He has decided to go after a Forge first in his Forge Fast expand, so Tear will have the option of pylon blocking here in a second if he wants to. Nerchio is doing a pretty effective job of chasing away the probe, though. But as we can see, Nerchio once again going after those 6 lings, the exact same thing we saw last time.
And I really like this, and the ramp obviously on this map and he's actually going to get the hatchery down. So we'll see if Nerchio decides to cancel this to let lings in, or if he's going to let it finish. My guess is, because he's doing this build and lings already on the way, he's going to cancel this and get 6 lings into Tear's base. Very, very cheeky by Nerchio here.
Both cannons are coming up at the moment, but first cannon's still 15 seconds away from finishing, and those lings should just be able to run right on by.
Very, very creatively done by Nerchio. This is going to disrupt Tear a lot and give Nerchio the time he wants to get up to 3 base. At least 5. Let's see. 4 get in.
4, yeah.
So very well done. Cancels the second pylon now that it's not needed, and the wall's going up, but Nerchio has no interest in getting any more lings in there. He's just going to do the damage he can and delay, 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 delay.
Delay, delay again, and we'll see if it works out for him. Of course, he did have a pretty heavy commitment himself. He's late on his hatchery. He even built a hatchery and lost 75 resources just by, you know, having that canceled. But, of course, Tear, he does kill lings without losing any probes yet, but he's pulled so many probes off the line. There's a huge amount of economic damage being done.
7 probes, and they haven't gone back. This is different where Choya sent them back after a while. They are literally just chasing probes. They're not even making any illusion of mining, and Nerchio's just running in circles, isn't even taking any effort, and, you know, Tear is, you know, he's not doing a whole lot to, you know, to monitor this, but at the same time, that's a lot of minerals lost.
All right, well, the Zergling's finally going to double back and try and pick off a couple of probes, and that's great! He killed a probe! I mean, like, that's more than you can ask for. So, Nerchio has been pretty effective here. He's got 2 hatcheries on the way. Tear, of course, though, has been probing up the entire time, and he's sitting on 29 for now.
Yeah, Nerchio, though, third base about to finish, and he's going to start, you know, 6, 7 drones at a time, not putting any more combat units. And Nerchio, it looks like his build a little bit more standard this time, getting double gassed rather than the 1 gas that we've seen every game so far.
Well, he is, yeah, but it's still hitting a little bit early. Usually you see this at 30 to 35 drones, but obviously what he's worried about right now is a big follow-up. I mean, if Tear decided to do a big 4-gate follow-up to this, it would come close to killing Nerchio because he did delay everything of his own.
Yeah, and on that note, I wouldn't be surprised to see a few spine crawlers go up as well, just for that protection.
Well, he manages to kill yet another probe as well, so he's killed 3 in total to the one that he lost before. Tear going to go after a Stargate, though. We'll see if those Zerglings actually end up getting down there at any point to scout this or not.
And yeah, the Stargate about the same timing as Choya. It looks very, very similar to the last game, although he is getting sentries instead of the stalkers that we saw last time. Nerchio, though, that's a pretty quick lair, actually, going up to lair while droning up still.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. This is looking a little bit weird from him, and I would not be surprised to see him move into Muta build. And Tomb Valley is a great map for that mass Muta build.
And I actually recall Nerchio doing that on this map before, and it wouldn't be a bad idea considering how much he delayed tier with all that mineral harass. And while there is a Stargate, if there's 9 Mutas against 1 Phoenix, it's not really going to matter that much. And wow, he's actually doing Void Ray first. Not a huge surprise. But if this is Mutas, and it looks a lot like Mutas with 4 gas going up now, that could really, really hurt tier.
All right. Well, we're predicting Mutas now. Maybe he'll go for some sort of weird 3-base infestation.
It's Roach.
He throws down a Roach one after layer is done.
Yeah, right when it finished.
Yeah, let's see what he ends up doing as gas 3 and 4 are finished up, but no gas 5 and 6.
Yeah, so obviously you don't go layer to get roaches, so there's something else coming here, but he is not revealing yet, or maybe he just hasn't decided. I'd assume infestors would be the follow-up to this, but he doesn't want to get too greedy with a super fast infestation pit.
Nice changelings, though. They pick up exactly what his opponent is doing. They do see the Void Ray on the field, and this Overseer caught wind of pretty much everything else. 3 more gateways being put down for Choya, though. Not Choya. The name says Choya. It is Tear, of course, though, as Tear planning to move to his 3rd base.
Yeah, and he's going to hit a little bit of a timing where he's trying to get to a 3rd, get enough to hold off. Oh, wow, Nerchio making a lot of lings.
And he's making burrow at the moment. Are we going to see drops maybe here in a bit? Double
Evo chamber.
Yeah, just finishing up now.
So he went tier 2, and all he has is Ling Roach so far, and he could do all this without lair. So I would assume this probably is going to be dropped or something sneaky, because this is very, very weird at this point that he still has not advanced his tech. He's just building Ling Roach. He just sent a ton of Lings over. It looks like he's just concentrating on denying tier his 3rd that, as we said before, is usually free on this map.
Yeah, as he's droning up pretty aggressively behind this. So, you know, Nerchio is not the most conventional player in the world.
Not at all, yeah.
No. As there's the infestation pit for him, but he certainly, I don't know, this is even a little bit out of the ordinary for him, just the way he's gone about things.
Yeah, I'm actually, this could be deadly. He is going to get a cancel, but he actually has the sentries cut off in 2 directions. Yeah, and Tear is going to have to, be very, very careful, because if the Zergling gets around on those sentries, that's going to do a lot of it. It's very smart here with the Observer picking off creep tumors. Don't see a lot of Protoss players do that, but it's always very good to do.
And here we go. He's going to try and get in and pick off a couple of sentries, but he's not able to do so. Ends up losing a lot of Zerglings for his trouble. Looks like he's going to force some a little bit of detection out of his opponent here in just a bit, though.
Yeah, and it looks like he was, yeah, that's really annoying, but he was just kind of forcing force fields, at least it looked like that at the time. Still no tech from Nerchio, though. Okay, finally he did get an infestation pit while that was going on, so yeah. I knew it had to be coming eventually, but he's switching into hardcore Roach infestor from the looks of it. I'm assuming we'll still see Lings because he's getting melee upgrades, but I really like Nerchio's position right now, leaving that 1 burrowed unit, and Choya's got to be really annoyed right now. Or excuse me, Tear.
Yeah, no,
really
everyone's doing
right
it because that's what it says. So, yeah. But no, it is Tear. It is Tear, 100%. So 15 more drones coming up. It's going to be a total of 74 when those all eventually pop. He's got enough gas for a bunch of infestors at the moment. There we go. Finally starting to add them on. There are 100 minerals, 150 gas, so a little bit heavier on gas than anything else. And look, this Tear's 3rd base has actually been denied for about 2 minutes in game because of just a couple burrowed Zerglings.
Yeah, very well done. That whole harass probably covered 2 to 3 minutes, and then just the burrow was another 2. I mean, very, very well done. That Nerchio last game was delay, same thing here. Just delaying Tear's build till, he was ready, and now Nerchio has the infestors out. He's really not scared of anything that Tear can throw at him.
Yeah, Nerchio has the possibility to move up into Hive in just a bit as well. And there it is, Hive and Aspire. That's what I was waiting for.
It's like the Nerchio trademark.
Yeah, the Phoenixes immediately pick up on Spire, though, of course. That Void Ray has to watch out, flying a little bit perilously close to the Sport Crawler that was up. Quite a bit of damage being done to these Phoenixes, but the Phoenixes all do get away and survive. Tear trying to pick off as many units as he can. Gets a few worker kills. Yeah, he's about evened up the worker kill count.
Yeah, he was just trying to kill all the ones that were in the geysers, which is smart when you know your opponent tends to go for greater Spire. So he got almost all of the drones that were in the extractors. Very, very good for delaying Nerchio a little bit.
And Nerchio going to try and swing in and pick off this +2
+2
weapons that's
again.
being researched, and it looks like he's going to be able to get it, and gets out without losing. Oh, you lost one Roach.
One Roach. That was already pretty low, so very well done. I really like how Nerchio just times to pick off the +2, because that's a really important upgrade for Protoss, especially when, as Nerchio can see, his own 2-2 is about to finish, so he'll have 2-2 against 1-0. That's pretty significant. Oh, wow! He got all of the Phoenixes with the fungal, but it looks like he's not actually going to try to follow up with it.
No, didn't want to waste all that energy right then, especially as Tear has so many forces making his way across the map. He's already going up to that fleet beacon, of course, for an eventual mothership switch. And I love the inclusion of the Ward Prism speed. He'll be able to drop everywhere. He finally will be able to get all these Phoenixes off to the side. There we go. Last one, we're going to hit and take out a couple of them.
Oh, this is still a pretty dangerous push for Tear. He gets the spine crawlers right before they finish. You know, Nerchio at the same time. And Tear, like we said before, just going a little bit before Zerg is ready. Those spine crawlers would have been up. He would have been able to defend that. But just getting in there and doing damage before Nerchio was ready.
Okay, well, Nerchio does have some Corruptors up, and in addition, he's reinvesting back into his Roaches, but he's been sitting on 3 base the entire game. He was thinking about trying to take a 4th, but his Queens got picked off over at the side.
Yeah, and we'll see. Nerchio obviously does not have Broodlords yet, just getting Corruptors to try to fend this off, but that's still... Oh, and War Prism in the base. This could do a lot of damage. Oh, let's see. And not going to drop anything.
No, but at the same time, Tear's thinking of going around the side here. Still 2 Colossi, still a lot of forces up. Nerchio does have a respectable amount of energy to go around on these Infestors, though, and should be able to lock them down for quite a while.
Tear now getting a warping in the back with Zealots. Oh, and he's going for the Infestation Pit just like Choya did last game.
Yeah, but as we can see, much like Choya did last game, Nerchio already preparing with another Infestation Pit up. He will lose his primary one, but his Hive Tech's already in place. He's already got his Greater Spire done or on the way?
Yeah, I was wondering, I don't think he had it. I think he just forgot to morph it. I saw the Corruptors, and I was kind of wondering why they weren't Broodlords yet. Meanwhile, Tear actually has gone up to 4 base, and I think it's going to finish very soon. Getting Templar Archives as well. Mothership is about to be done. Almost unlocked his full tech tree at this point, and Nerchio still doesn't have his Broodlord, so he could be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, he's taking 2 more bases now, and he needs at least that. So he is running pretty short on minerals inside of his main and his natural. Let's see, though, as that Mothership pops up, let's take stock of what Tear has on the field. He's got a 4th base. He's only got 2 Colossi and a lot of Blink Stalkers, so not a lot of AoE in this force, which is a little surprising.
Yeah, very vulnerable to Broodlords when you only have 2 Colossus. Oh, 3 Colossus now, so that's a little bit better. But obviously, Storm is going to help a ton when that finally gets out. You know, his Templar Archives is done. We'll see if he's going to build Archons or if he's going to go straight for Storm.
Big Zergling run by here, and unfortunately for Tear, this Nexus is falling extremely quickly, and even though he's bringing back all his forces, this could not work more into Nerchio's favor. He picks off a base and forces all of those units back home, gives him more time to delay and get these Broodlords out.
Yeah, that was a very important snipe, just catching Tear a little bit out of position and managing to secure his own 4th base while he sniped the 4th base of his opponent. And now he has a Spinecrawler Forest, and now he has his Broodlords. A little bit late, obviously, probably 2 to 3 minutes later than he would have liked, but now he's at the stable position that he likes to be in with a 5th base as well almost done.
It looks like these Zerglings did run across the vision of these flying units here, so already Tear moving his force in position and picking off some links there, full blink. And if Nerchio had any forces running around the side, he would have been able to take advantage of that. But alas, it was not to be.
Yeah, so we'll see what Nerchio is going to do here now that he has his Broodlords, if he's just going to sit back on this army, or if he's going to try to do some aggressive plays and move into Tear's 4th or 5th. It's starting to look very, very similar to a lot of PvCs we've seen on this map, where it kind of gets divided in half.
Get ready. Hour-long game incoming.
Yeah, it very well could be, because at this point, once both players in PvZ have unlocked their tech tree on this map, it's very hard to defeat your opponent, especially with all the spine crawlers and the cannons that are everywhere, and obviously with the huge amount of AoE that Protoss has in general.
All right, well, Nerchio is able to clean up the Void Ray that was trying to pick off bases off to the side. It did reveal this base, of course, but these Phoenixes are going to go down in a second as well. They've served their scouting purpose, and that's going to be all she wrote. That does for free up supply, though, for a bit more in terms of Templars. We see Storm on the way. Now, let's reevaluate that AoE. Still just 3 Colossi for the time being, and even though that Templar Archives has been done for a while, Psionic Storm is well underway. Those are the first 2 Templar that are warping in.
Yeah, and I suspect we'll see some Storm drops eventually with those Templar. Oh, wow. Did he... Oh, yeah, he kills off a Stalker to make 2 more Templar. Oh, so he's just going to make some Archons and push with those. Ooh, great split push here. Flicking into the natural, and it looks like he's gearing up to push into the 4th at the same time.
Looks like the rest of the forces are in position, though, so Nerchio will be able to clean this up, but you're right, he's pulled everything out of the way, and he's got to react very quickly. The Spine Crawler wall is already in place, though, so Tyr going to break off his forces. No, I'm surprised. I thought he would go up to the top left and try and pick off that base, but in fact, he's not going to get actually really anything.
And he has scouted it with the Phoenixes, I believe. Still has Stalkers in the main, though, killing a Macro Hatch. Did a little bit of damage here. Oh, yeah, he is going to send some Zealots up here, but that's going to get cleaned up pretty easily by Nerchio.
There's a fleet of Overseers sitting there.
Yeah.
And I've actually enjoyed some of the creative Zerg play recently that's revolved around putting down Changelings in cool spots to close off attack pass, but never mind that. We've got to talk about this big old Vortex that just hit. It didn't get all of the Broodlords, so there are still some Broodlords at the back, and the Archons have not been able to make their way in, so they can't even take advantage of this Archon toilet quite yet. They've got to get in right now.
And that was actually really smart by Nerchio. He left his Overseers away. Oh, and that's just nothing was in the Vortex for Tyr, losing almost everything.
That's horrible for him, and even though he's blinking up underneath his opponent, there's still enough Broodlords here that they're just going to chew their way through this army. That could not have gone worse.
Yeah, you can't have an Archon toilet without Archons. He only had 3. He couldn't get them in because of the fungal growths. And the Overseers, he put the Overseers on top of the mothership, so there was no way for him to Vortex the Overseers without Vortexing his own army. That was very, very smart by Nerchio.
So Nerchio now, he's got a lot of forces. They're all just steamrolling their way across the map, and these photon cannons are not going to have enough DPS to be able to knock down all these units in time.
That is not enough, and Tyr trying to rebuild, now getting Colossus. He has a lot of minerals that he's not using. Just adding on gateways, you realize that he had underproduced his production buildings, but it looks like Nerchio is going to get this base relatively easily, and he's going to come rolling into the 5th base as well.
Oh, yeah. And there is a mothership off to the side, but it's basically dead weight at the moment. And doesn't have enough energy for another Vortex or anything along those lines. And honestly, Tyr's getting ripped apart. Nerchio putting on a very impressive performance here. He is going to clean up this 5th base. A bunch of units making their way out in the middle of the map for Tyr, but he just can't make things quick enough now.
Yeah, now he's really far behind by 60 supply, building a lot of Templar for more Archons, but he's going to have good mothership use in order to try to pull this one back.
And that mothership's already under fire now by these Corruptors, and the Corruptors do a little bit of additional damage to massive units, so a couple of these can actually chase down this mothership.
Wow, I didn't think 2 Corruptors could kill a mothership, but they almost did. Done a ton of damage so far. Oh, and Tyr, great blink, though.
Yeah, but unfortunately blinking and getting surrounded at exactly the same time. Nerchio chasing down the last couple of forces. And ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to be all she wrote. Nerchio looks like, he is poised to take his 2nd game of the set. We're all tied up.
Wow, great game there by Nerchio. Tyr had a pretty good setup there, but just couldn't quite